Hello, welcome to the Clifton Worley Show. I am here at Winter NAMM, here at the Airbnb, hanging out with one of the other housemates. So we got Scott Hamilton here. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Clifton.
So we're here, what is this, like end of day 3?
Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
I have no idea what day it is.
Saturday night. And we are, I guess this is like the first time it's slowed down enough to try to do this.
Oh gosh, this is the first time we've been home before midnight.
Oh, totally. We've been doing probably at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then having to get up at 6 to go eat breakfast and stuff, and then go to NAMM. So so this morning, let's kind of give everybody a recap, kind of day by day, and then we'll dig into some of the topics of what we saw and all that. But so we day 1, we kind of scoped it out. And was there anything going on that evening? I can't remember.
I went to a worship night.
That's right. Yeah.
I went to Matt Redman performed, and I went and got to see him.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have went to that. Ended up kind of pulling in a different direction, where a bunch of the guys went down to downtown Disney, and we ate at one of the cantinas. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. Anyways, it was pretty good. Tortilla Joe's.
It was something Joe's, yeah.
Anyways, and then yesterday was a little bit crazier, and then we all went to the taco party in Santa Ana.
That was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Probably that's the highlight of this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Arguably, unexpectedly. Everyone talked it up, and I was like, I don't know. The people talking about it are really good friends. So it was one of those things I was like, I went in a little skeptical,
Totally, yeah.
I'm not going to be in this clique or whatever. And it was an amazing time. The music.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. So they had a sort of an all-star jam session band. And so you had Mason Stoops was sort of the
band leader,
yeah. Organizer of it. And Eric Posen, Josh Smith, just
some guys I didn't even know. But
there was a whole list of really great guitar players there, and all just, passing the ball, taking turns, playing off a simple rhythm or a groove, and it was chill and it wasn't too loud. You could talk over it. It was a great time. Yeah,
it was. Oh my goodness, the taco party! Even from last year. Last year was my first one, and there was probably, I don't know, maybe up close to, I don't even know if it was 100 people, but last night was probably, I would say, a couple hundred. Maybe I would venture and say maybe even 300 people. That might be a little overboard, but it was pretty crowded there.
It got crowded at the end. I don't know if no one really went inside of the venue, did they?
No, I think
we were all out on the patio pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's where the music was and the tacos and everything. So that was really cool. I mean, I hope they continue to do it and can continue to find a venue.
I would reuse that venue.
Yeah, it was very good. So that was a highlight for me of this trip, I think. Well.
And raised a bunch of great money. I mean, money for great causes.
Totally.
Because it was, it was a little pricey, considering for, one round of tacos, and tacos and beer ran out. I mean, there were just so many people, and the wait was long. Those kind of things. But the tacos were worth the wait. Well, they were amazing.
The thing about the tacos was they were throwing those tortillas on the grill, making them.
They're pressing and cooking them right in front of you. Yeah.
And throwing out the meats and cooking them on the grill. It was no
so good.
Oh, we made this up in batches and we're throwing this together, heated up for you. No, it was each one, I'm making it if I was just making one.
That guy assembling is just a machine.
Yeah.
That was amazing to watch him work. So that was kind of, it wasn't a terribly late night, but we got back and all crashed, and all got up early for the Flippin' Flippers pancake breakfast this morning.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have been as tired, a little bit more, active. But so, yeah. What was your experience there at the pancake breakfast?
Well, was this the first one officially?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't really know what to expect going into it, and I'm just glad it happened. It was a smaller crew, but like everyone seemed to know each other, so it was a friendly crew, and it was a good time. Everyone was in great spirits, and the pancakes were fantastic. So you cooked 100 pancakes this morning, so great job.
Yeah, I did. Like those big, like oversized bags of pancake batter.
Mm-hmm.
We went through almost 3 of those.
Goodness.
So I think there was like a 75 pancake yield for each bag.
We wound up having a good amount left over, but still.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't like an excessive amount. I mean, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very reasonable, and food was fantastic, and it was just fun.
Yeah.
Flippin' Flippers showing off their new their signature pedal, and a little bit of a giveaway there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, and they had their demo board set up and was letting people try that out.
I still haven't had a chance to play it.
Me neither. I need to before I leave.
So, Co's bringing that one back, right? Like, he didn't give away both the ones he had, right?
No, I don't think they did.
Okay. Hopefully I get a chance to try it out.
Yeah. So
that, and then NAMM today.
Yeah. Now I think we all. So this is the first day out of the 3 that we've kind of gotten to hang out a little bit, and so we kind of got the same spill on NAMM today.
Yeah, I've been doing. I mean, my Thursday strategy was pretty much just go say hi to everybody I knew at this point, and that took the whole day.
Yeah.
Like just catching up, and you wind up spending half an hour, 40 minutes just talking with people or going through their whole line or things like that. So like, seeing Cody Fields again from Westminster Effects, and him just saying, "Hey man, check out the whole board. Let's play through it," and go through that. And Mike from Native Audio was there. Spent some good time with him. Went and saw the guys from Seth and Brady, both from Old Blood. I need to like pull out my phone and look through the pictures. Is like the only way I can remember how much we did everything, and even that is just. There was just so much stuff to do.
Yeah. I was a little more that's a good point about NAMM, by the way. I was a little proactive about that this time. Is every time I had that passing thought that I might want to revisit this, let's take a picture, because you get home and you don't remember half the things that you did. I mean, you had a good time, but it's hard to run all that back down. And
Well, and this one was a little different too, because right now is the only amount of content creation I do. I'm doing all of NAMM, right? So previous experiences when I'm helping a podcast out, I'm like trying to set up booth interviews and trying to schedule all this kind of stuff. And like, you're running mad. And this was a lot more fun for me personally, just in this, I got to interact with people. I think I joked with you that I was talking to you and RJ. I said, like, your first NAMM is say hi and you shake hands when you leave. Your second NAMM is you get a hearty handshake from the people who recognize you. By your third NAMM, you're going around hugging people.
Totally.
That's kind of like the progression of it. So it was a lot of fun just going around hugging people and catching up.
Yeah, it's well, let's shift gears here for a minute and talk about, because now you've been to both summer, winter NAMM. What's your spill on the difference?
Nashville NAMM really feels like it revolves around guitars, right?
Totally.
And winter NAMM is everything, and frankly, I would say the pro audio world is bigger, and like guitars are not the biggest thing there, even though it gets a lot of coverage.
Yeah. Though you can even from the emails that they send out, like when you're on the NAMM mailing list, I would say like the majority of those emails is non-guitar related, and even in the pro audio realm.
Mm-hmm. Like the biggest booth I saw, period, I think was Shure. They had a multi-story structure. Like it's crazy what they're doing, and you know they have products in all sorts of sectors, so that makes sense. And there's the whole. They have speaker arrays. There's so many speaker companies, which to me is amazing because I'm, adjacent to the pro audio world, and really we only interact with like 5 brands. To be totally blunt, like,
yeah,
you only deal with a couple brands, and there's stuff I've never seen, never heard of. Like it was a hefty amount of just information to take in there. That those things are not present at National NAMM. There are not speaker manufacturers there. There are a few recording microphone brands, and that's it.
That
makes
makes
like
sense in Nashville to have the recording stuff.
Yeah. It's like recording mics and IEMs are like the things at Nashville NAMM on the pro audio world. Nothing with like woodwind instruments or violins or stringed instruments and that kind of stuff. That's a giant section. Drums was massive.
Yeah.
So it's everything.
Talking about drums, that was something that kind of interesting went down today that I followed. Me, RJ Smith, and yourself, we followed you over there because you knew about this at the Ludwig booth.
Yeah, so 2 of my friends came with me from Chicago. Right. They're both drummers and did with people who work at Ludwig, so they were telling us about this event that Fred Armisen came in and did a stand-up routine. His Jokes for Musicians, I believe is the name. I forgot what the
something along
is.
Yeah,
but it was a really subtle humor, but he got me chuckling pretty good.
Yeah, I saw his bit on TV before. I can't remember which late night talk show it was.
He's done like interviews where he does like a little bit of it, right?
Yeah,
where he's just like on Conan and he just does a moment of it.
Yeah. And so I was familiar with it. I guess not being a drummer, I mean, I kind of got a little bit of it, but then I was like,
There were definitely a few jokes where you saw the drummers and laugh, and everyone else is just like, I don't really get that joke. But it's 100% inside humor.
Yes, yeah. And I missed this part because like me and RJ ended up walking, but he did a bit with the guitar too. I've seen him do that.
Yeah, he tried to play "Carry On, Wayward Son," and he's like, "What's it like to be the other guitar player in the band hearing this song for the first time?" It's like he like slowly picks up something, and then the song changes. Like, what? Huh? Like it was a pretty good little bit.
Yeah.
Or actually, favorite party. He does like this. He plays "In the Air Tonight."
Yeah.
And he's just like stretching, setting up the set. He's doing all these little mannerism things, and then right when the part is to cut the big drum fill, he comes in on like 4. He moves the 1 to 4 and starts playing a steady rock beat on top of it. It just messes with the whole song. It takes all the energy out. It was pretty fun little bit.
Yeah, that was funny. That was his opening bit. He came in. Yeah.
He's like looking at the drum set, and then he did like fake stretching and all this kind of like. It's a very subtle humor, but it was fun.
Yeah, he's good. That's probably I think I probably enjoy like more of his like acting humor because he always plays some interesting roles. But anyways, that was cool to see him. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, not expecting that at all.
Anyways, okay. Well, let's shift gears here for a minute, and let's just kind of highlight some of the things that interested you. We kind of just take a short laundry list and.
Well, I guess highlight of the gear realm for me. I finally got to play in He Quits Ashford.
Yes.
And I've been gassing for this guitar for a while. I think it's beautiful. I am a big fan of the Equits family.
Yeah.
They're great people, and I love seeing them and hanging out with them. Like Heather Equits and I were like talking for about an hour this morning at the pancake breakfast and catching up. So like, it's great to see them and get to hang out with them. And I've been wanting an Ashford for a while, and there are things like wait lists and finding the money that are still, it's going to be a while till I finally have one, but finally playing one and really convincing myself, like, it's that magic of like 2-3 chords and you already know you want the guitar. It was one of those moments, and so that was really nice to feel, because I love the look of it so long, and the guitar lived up to it.
Yeah. I love Kevin and his work, and so I've been paying attention to his stuff for quite a while, and I hope one day. I'm not on a waiting list, but hopefully one day I can get one of those as well.
You should just preemptively get on that waiting list, because it's a long waiting list right now.
Well, what about? Let's see. What else did we hit today that was interesting?
Well, there's definitely another story of something I want to talk about. I will share that this NAMM has been interesting to me in the fact that every major pedal release I knew about well beforehand.
It's interesting, yeah.
This time, so there wasn't like this rush to get to a booth. Oh, I gotta see and I gotta hear this for the most part. And the one pedal I really wanted to see and hear, I couldn't get hands on, which is the Mark II Benson and Chase Bliss collaboration. There was no chance I was going to get a chance to play it. It was just the lines and like people wanted it. To me, that was the most interesting pedal of like hype. I know the Volante from Strymon is getting a lot of hype too. It's not really my thing, and I kind of knew that right from the get go of like what the pedal is. It is an in-depth pedal, but multi-head tape echo is just not my thing. Think of the other like major releases. The Terraform from Wampler is fantastic.
Okay.
Sounds just wonderful and has a lot of deep features. And that was definitely worth checking out, and maybe get a chance to play with it in a quieter environment where I get to appreciate the subtleties of it. I'm trying to think of other like real big new releases that were hyped,
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, and I don't want to go too far down that rabbit trail, but you're right. Like, NAMM has not become like it's not anymore the place for the late breaking news, like where everybody sits on their releases until it starts leaking from NAMM and then gets out, and all the big retailers are reporting it, and that's just not how the industry works anymore. I remember when I was a kid, like, you waited like Musician's Friend and those catalogs, like you would get a after NAMM issue, and that was like the first you heard about. This is available. It's not that way anymore. Like, this stuff is, even a lot of the, like, especially the pedals, like they're announcing before they get to NAMM, hey, this is what we have, and come see us.
I mean, I'm trying to think, is that what I prefer or not? Because I remember Summer NAMM 2 years ago, Wampler came out with the Doctor, for example, and it's called the Doctor. Come see us at the booth. And he announced that like the morning of, and there was something about like it. Person at his booth won a prize. Like, he made a contest out of it, right?
Right.
There wasn't that kind of stuff today or this week. So there wasn't like those kind of moments, and I also didn't have the I walked the show floor and suddenly something spoke to me out of the dark. Kind of moments of like something just blew my mind that I've never seen before.
Yeah. I think, though, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this, it makes NAMM less about, oh, what's this new thing or whatever, and it makes it more like, hey, here's my opportunity to go talk to this builder, and it's going to be a little bit more chill at this booth, and kind of just ask them, like, direct face-to-face, what's the deal, and you get more of a, like, hands-on feel for what's going on, and there's nothing like that, like, then you can go home and go find these things in stores and start to play them, and, that kind of deal.
Well, it's funny that, so I was talking about, like, Thursday was like the day I go around giving everybody hugs, and it is exactly that. Like, it's nice that Thursday winds up being a pretty low population compared to, like, today was a zoo.
Yeah.
That you have those opportunities and people have that time to give you. And there's another aspect of, like, the last 3 times I've run into Zach from Chase Bliss. Each time I just bought like a Chase Bliss pedal. I'm like, hey, can you give me a lesson on what you like to do on this? And I did the same thing again this time. He's like, what'd you buy this time? And what do you need me to teach you how to do? Like, he remembers that, I'm coming up for that. So, it's those kind of fun things like that make NAMM really fun. It's the connections now that they're there. And we're not being those thirsty people trying to get a free t-shirt out of everybody. It's about, I want to see you. I want to say hi.
Yeah.
I want to give you a hug.
I can agree with that. So the big difference today was we hit the basement. Let's talk about the basement here for a minute.
I'm glad a lot of the acoustics moved down to the basement because the main floor is so loud.
Yeah.
There are so many Chinese companies making the same stuff.
Hey, and there must be like a reason.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason.
But like this year, there was one of the many trends, speakers with an LED ring around the main woofer. Those were at like 6 different booths in like various ways that the LEDs blinked, and they were very, very visually loud.
I saw some of that last year, but I think it's very like
What you got on your phone there, Clifton?
I was checking Facebook and all of a sudden a live stream popped up, and I'm not sure I'm going to edit that out, but
I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about the LED powered speakers that I could see that like being like a DJ, like like small time DJ kind of trick. Like I'm showing up and I'm gonna have the speakers doing my light show for me, whatever.
That's the type of speaker for that event. Totally.
Yeah.
But
Facebook ads and Craigslist ads. $5.
So that was interesting, at least. Like these booths that just had all this stuff terribly displayed, and like the people in the booth don't want to talk to any of us. Like there were a lot of those kind of aspects in the basement. Like that vibe changed.
Yeah.
And then you start getting into this is kind of weird kind of stuff. So one of the things we were looking at was this gopher wood guitars. So their shtick is there's a pin inside the acoustic guitar that could like mid-span that connects the bracing of the top to the back. So it's like putting a column in the middle of your guitar.
Right.
And it's removable, and you can change the tips from wood to like brass, and there's supposed to be sonic differences. I couldn't pick up really a difference between the sonic distances. It's a loud environment, and there was a long delay between the two. So there's that. But like, I went in so skeptical, wanting to like, this is snake oil. I want to disprove everything scientifically about this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to bore your listeners with a long thing on the acoustics of deflected springs and the those kind of things. But
yeah, I could tell you were like you were trying to see if there's a way that you could kind of like debunk the myth, so to speak.
There is a way I can debunk.
Yeah.
I was trying to trip the spokesperson into putting his foot in the mouth.
Yeah.
He did okay, but yeah, it's interesting. It's a unique concept. It's there's always somebody trying to come up with an idea of reinventing the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just didn't see the need in that scenario for what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think that would be a cool thing. Like you had said this. If it was like priced in the maybe the typical Topica Mini, like acoustic electric price.
If those guitars were US made, their price would be justified.
Yeah.
Possibly, like, because that was a $2,500 guitar that was made in Korea, and it felt like a guitar that was made in Korea. It did not feel comparable to a Taylor or a Martin or a Larrivee.
Yeah.
I know Larrivees aren't made in the US, but still. It just wasn't at that par. And the part that's specialized in a shtick of that thing, honestly, $20-$30, right? Like, if they sold this springform pen thing that sits inside your bracing of your guitar, I could see that being like the stocking stuffer of the year. It's the fat finger, like comparable to that.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like there'll probably be a crowd that really likes it and will, get into it. It's not for me. When I listened to it, I was like, I like what I get out of my Taylor. That's a whole lot better bang for your buck in that price range. And even the pickup system. And they had this like proprietary pickup system that they were touting.
But it had the same control mechanism that like a Lyric has.
Yeah, but I think the Lyric sounds better. Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
It sounded like a Fishman prefix.
Yeah.
Like before they started putting the gooseneck mic so you could actually place the mic in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the old one where the mic is like in the PCB.
Yeah.
And that was one of the other things, like that mic was so strong to any little movement or anything. I was like, on stage, this will feed back if I have that mic up too high. So there was that issue too.
Yeah.
But another interesting thing, we're going to be stuck on these Gopherwood guitar guys the whole time. They are the first acoustic guitar company I've seen play the Christian route as part of their marketing.
Yeah.
I've seen electric guitar companies play the Christian route. That's the first time I've seen an acoustic guitar company we're a Christian company, we're going to have biblical references in our stuff. Like, it's named Gopherwood guitars, and they're not really made out of cedar, they're spruce. So that's not a good name for, they're, and like one of their icons looks like the Ark, Noah's Ark, and those kind of things. Like there's references there. So
yeah,
I thought that was an interesting thing because a lot of the other major acoustic guitar companies will have crosses on stuff once in a while, but that's a custom feature,
Yeah. It is interesting. It'd be interesting to see, if they find a place in the market and kind of succeed doing what they're doing, or if they're gonna have to kind of change a little bit what they're doing and develop that a little bit further. I talked to the guy. This is the first time like they are here, ready to start getting dealers and whatever. Like they've been trying to develop this for a few years now,
and they're aggressively selling. Like their people are eager to show off this stuff.
Yeah.
So.
While we were there, I think like right by that, I stopped and did a little product demo. I'll hopefully have that out soon. Farida guitars, and so I think that what it is, it looks like a lot of like the Gibson style shapes.
Very traditional.
And acoustics.
Yeah.
And, they're made in China. They had ones that were like solid top with laminate back and sides, and they had like a model that I played that was like all solid woods. It was basically like like a J45 clone.
Mm-hmm.
And but it retails for like $700-800, which is
Very
a third
reasonable.
of
Yeah.
the price of a Gibson J45. So talking to the guy, and so they sell them through Elderly Instruments, is what he was saying, and they're based out of Lansing, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who owns it, they played very well. I'm surprised I had never heard of the brand, to be honest.
Well, you were referred to them by Joshua Fraser, right?
Yeah. He had seen something where they were gonna be there, and was like, "Hey, go check these out and see what you think." And I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I think Eastman, they're made in China as well, and they have a J45 like clone in that same price range.
You think it's the same factory?
Dude, it very well could be.
Hmm.
But so, that's interesting. I mean, I probably would go with either one. I don't know that one's better over the other.
Well, I mean, like, we think about how many guitars that come from like Korea are all made in the same factory, right?
Totally.
Or Indonesia are the same factory, right?
Right.
And yet they are wildly different guitars depending on the company.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's the side of like, if the American guitar side is like taking the stuff and setting it up or doing finishing touches or those kind of things, like that was really what separated Schecter when they really resurged in like the early 2000s from a lot of their like Samick equivalents.
Mm-hmm.
They were just doing setups in the US, and that, the guitars had great bones from all these guitars, but they needed a little fret work, and they needed a little, tune-up work before they're ready to hit somebody's hands. So that can separate those two companies if it is the same factory. We're totally spitballing on that.
Yeah, we're just imagining what could be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know what? It had a good fit and finish. The fretwork was good. I'm assuming it's probably they're being made there with solid woods. This guy's probably dressing the frets, and I mean, I would imagine that's.
I mean, if you're gonna build a guitar in China, ship it over here on a boat, and then sell it, that guitar is going to be different from when it leaves to when it arrives, just by the process of that long shipping process.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to dry out a little bit. It's going to be in the sun. It's going to warp a little bit, possibly.
Yeah.
Or the truss rod's going to get unsettled. All those kind of things,
Set it back up and then turn around and sell it.
There's a reason why a lot of retailers, every guitar goes through a setup guy. That's like the whole Sweetwater thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a number of other brands, other stores do that. So, if the bones of that guitar are good, it was just such a loud environment down there that
it's hard to hear.
There's no subtlety in anything.
Yeah. Well, there was something that we found interesting. We ran across this case company.
Oh yeah. So I'm an amateur here who didn't take any photos at that booth. So look, I'm glad you reminded me.
Bassiner.
Mm-hmm. They're doing neoprene cases.
Yeah.
Which look fantastic. And there's an Instagram photo of me where it's like, do your straps come in tall guy sizes? So I tried one of their straps out, and because it's neoprene, it feels really padded and squishy, and they had a pretty heavy Telecaster there, and it was very comfortable. And I quoted us saying it was going to be a $50 strap, which a padded strap at $50 is a deal.
Yeah, it was very comfortable, and there was like it was kind of like a strap lock system built in that had like a loop.
I even just totally forgot about that. I was just thinking about the padded strap alone.
Yeah.
They had it's the Grolsch washer trick, but it's a molded one that stays with the strap.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like on the guitars I do the Grolsch washer trick, I constantly lose one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, do I want which strap pin do I want to make sure I lock down because I only have one now? So yeah, it just stays with the strap. They were that strap we were trying out was brand new, and it held on strong. Like it took effort to put it on in the first place. That's how good it's going to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like it seemed like a crazy good bargain.
Yeah, and these guys were based out of Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the cases were competitively priced with a lot of their peers. Like
Yeah.
about the same as like what we saw from Music Area last year. Mono's still a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Of course, they have a bigger audience that's willing to buy from them. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's a different material.
Yeah, it is. These cases were kind of interesting because of the outside material. But what I thought was interesting is some of the compartments they had, and like they had this deal where like you it was like a quick open because it was like you pull it.
It has two zippers that meet at a corner.
Yeah.
And at that corner is a magnet.
And you kind of pull it off the magnet, and
just
bam,
zip, it's all open.
It's open, ready to just shove your gear in, and
which I can see me because I'm always like in a hurry when I'm packing up.
Yeah.
Just whipping that thing open, throwing cables in.
Yeah, and they had like on one of the cases, of course, it's the neoprene, which is like water resistant but not waterproof. But there's a little rain jacket that you could pull out of there and cover up, like if you're in pouring down rain, and protect your case.
Yeah, I've seen other cases do that. Like, I've had a Gator case that did that.
Okay.
But it was a well designed pocket for that, and they had good shoulder straps, which is always important on those things, especially when you start getting into like double guitar cases where they kind of start getting heavy. None of them had a guitar in it where we really could wear it and really feel the weight.
No, that's an interesting point. Now you brought something up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a lot of cases use like polystyrene foam or like a polymer foam, and they're using neoprene foams,
Right.
which are a bit softer to the touch and squishier, so they feel really nice and padded. But the other thing I know about neoprene and those kind of things is neoprene is a really good insulator. And so I started chatting with them. I'm like, have you guys done tests with this stuff? Because in Chicago, it gets freezing cold, and we have to take public transit a lot. And so I know a few acoustic players who use gig bags in the winter because it's better insulation. So your guitar doesn't cool down as much when you're going outside. Like the temperature shocks don't happen. So I was really curious with neoprene versus a lot of the other foams, whether that heat up would be faster or slower compared to what else is on the market. Because for people like me who live in cold weather climates, that could help protect your investment a lot, especially when you're going in and out of hot and cold environments.
Yeah.
I would never leave a guitar in a gig bag long term because humidify yourself, and that's where a hard shell is better.
Right.
But for those, gigs.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting that they had not thought of that.
Well,
but
they're in Taiwan.
Yeah, they're not in an area where you probably have to think about that. But
Weather's different. Yeah.
I really liked what they had to offer though, and they seemed like super nice guys, and very passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah, I hope we were able to kind of follow up with them, and maybe it would be fun because I have a mono, I have a Gator, I have a number. I have so many guitar cases. It would be fun to like find some type of way to test side by side. Like I just take the empty cases outside and see how fast they cool down, and like run a quick like side by side test. I was trying to think of the logistics of how to do that without spending a crazy amount of money.
I know what you could do. You could take one of those food thermometers and just stick it inside the case, and
I need a camera on it or something, right?
Well, you could just open them up and see where they're sitting, like at the same time. You could time it like 5 minutes in the cold, open it up, see where it's sitting.
I could throw like a bag of water in the case, because the thermometer, like if it's just open in air, the minute I open the case, it's going to be measuring outdoor air.
Yeah.
So I'd need to put it in something that would change.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And I could be really with pure water. We already know most of the math on all the heat transfer stuff. That would be too nerdy. I gotta stop. I really gotta stop on this thought process. I was thinking just the Bluetooth Taylor Sense things. I was just thinking of leaving one of those in and then just leaving the case closed and just looking at it with my phone.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I need to buy like 4 of them.
Well, that's not cost effective just to run that.
Taylor, if you want to sponsor this activity, talk to me. Andy, Bob, let's talk.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of rounded out the day. We went back through some pedal booths and stuff, and I checked out a few that I hadn't been to yet, and it was cool. I think one was called like Humboldt, and the guy was from Chile. While you were talking to the guy over at Westminster, and he walked me through his board, and so that was a fun time. And then we got out and kind of got outdoors and kind of chilled out before we left. But we rounded out the evening.
Mm-hmm. This is why we're both really starting to dip in our energy levels.
Yes,
it's sitting in. We went to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, and so I think we're kind of the same. I was trying to think. It's been about probably 12 years, maybe 10, 12 years since I've had In-N-Out.
Okay, how long has it been since you've had Five Guys?
Oh, like a year or two.
How long has it been since you've had a burger from Wendy's?
Oh, I have a burger from Wendy's like at least once a week.
Okay. Are we going to go through the play-by-play here?
Yeah, let's go through it. This is the good stuff.
Okay, let me start by saying I really enjoyed today's burger. It hit the spot in some good ways. It is not my favorite burger.
Now you had the what?
I did a double animal style with animal fries.
Okay.
And a chocolate shake. I also walked how many steps today to justify this? Let me check my health app on my phone. Yesterday I did 18,000 steps. Today I am at 11,500 steps, but I've climbed 10 flights of stairs. So
today I did 13,881 and walked 9 floors.
So
yeah,
we burned some calories, so we can eat like maniacs. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how there were elements of every other fast food chain in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the Portillo's, inside that In-N-Out, it felt like a Portillo's a little bit to me, which is a Chicago chain.
Okay.
Where like you have like 30 people working at it. You know, like there's a crazy amount of staff in an In-N-Out.
Yeah, they were fast too. Now the drive-through is like wrapped around the building. Yeah.
But that reminded me of Portillo's. That's the way they are too.
Okay.
Because you've got to order, and like the food still takes 5 to 10 minutes. So what they do is they have walkers taking your order instead of you pull up to the sign. Like because like McDonald's can just turn around food so fast.
Yeah.
These guys take longer.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I thought. So I had the double, and I did not go animal style. I just had the burger as is, and then the fries. RJ suggested I get it like well done.
I wish I did that.
Yeah, they had a nice crispy flavor to them that way. But okay, so my thoughts on the burger. The presentation was good. It looked amazing.
Best I've seen from a fast food burger.
Yeah, it looked like okay. So you're getting it excited, your mouth's watering. Like this is gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
When I bite into it, okay, the bun is good.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese is good. The burger is lacking any kind of noticeable seasoning to it, and the condiments like the lettuce and tomato are, I hate to say this, but like it made it cold, like when you had a hot burger with like melted cheese on it, to the point where it was like that took away. Like I think I would, if I was gonna order another double double, I would probably just do the patty and cheese with on the bun, because I didn't like that aspect of that burger. Now I like lettuce and tomato and pickles and all that kind of stuff on my burger from anywhere else.
So what I think I would do differently, I would order it to go, just so they wrap it up fully, and it sits there and heats itself internally. It's like everyone complains about the cheese not melting on the edge of a Five Guys. They don't wrap it anymore.
Sorry, this is RJ from Teletalk. So just to educate y'all, they don't wrap the burgers. They'll put it in a bag, but they don't wrap the burgers.
It's kind of like a half wrap.
They're just exposed, sitting in the bag.
Yeah, they sit them. So let's say you get a burger and fries, right? They're gonna put the fries with a lid on them in one bag, and then they're gonna put the burgers in the other.
Okay, I'm done with In-N-Out now. I have fundamental things that I have a problem with the way this place is being run. No, like a Five Guys burger, because they do the foil wrap. You just let it sit in the foil for a minute, and the heat evens out.
Yeah.
It's just like, always order stuff to go from Five Guys. That's the trick.
Okay, now
Five Guys is a way greasier burger than this was, though.
It
This was
is
not a greasy burger.
It is, but Five Guys, I think their patties taste better.
I'm nodding in agreement for those not watching us right now.
Yes. I don't know why, but I think everybody in the gear world is pretty big into burgers too. So I mean, we can get away with talking about burgers, but the lack of any kind of flavoring on that meat was kind of
That's why you've got to get it like animal style, right? Like you got to bring a sauce in to kind of.
And I didn't do that,
Yeah.
so that was probably my fault. RJ told me I should, and when he told me it was on it, I was like, I'm not really a fan of those things. So, I mean, I don't really like onions on my burger. I don't.
Blasphemy.
Hey, don't come at me. So it looked way more amazing than it was. But let's say this: for the price, Southern
Scale of 1 to
California
10.
prices. Okay, I would say 7.
Yeah. It's a
A
7.
solid 7.
Most fast food burgers are a 7, and they're just different types of 7s. But yeah.
Yeah. Good solid 7. I would do it again if I was hungry and needing a burger, but it's not.
And we've been eating at the convention so much that getting out like fries, a side and a dessert like drink, and like I am so full right now for like $11 or $12 or whatever it cost me. I'm like, I feel like I just got a really good deal.
You didn't get taken advantage of.
Well, the burger we've had multiple burgers this week. The burger place I went to at the convention, I think I spent $20 for just a burger.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, I would do it again, but
I'd stop at that all the time. Like it's so much better than a McDonald's hamburger. I will say that. A Wendy's hamburger is okay.
Yeah.
Like I would put it up against a double from Wendy's, and it would depend what day I want it. Five Guys is just so greasy and heavy that I don't want it often, but it's really good when I have it.
Yeah. So, I think that we kind of covered the day and what we did and everything, and it's been a good show. I think now tomorrow is kind of going to be a more low key day for us, and it'll be my last day here. I think you're doing like a half a day, and you're trying to get home.
Yeah, I wound up switching my flight. Chicago is winter in Chicago right now. It's not fun.
Yeah,
but also I also planned this trip, and now I have to be in Toronto next week as well for work. So it's like I want an extra day at home just to kind of recoup.
Totally. Yeah, I know a lot of the northern guys have been talking about they got some kind of snowstorm coming through and they're trying to get home before it hits. And so I'm not going to deal with that on the way home, even though they're talking about...
You might hit it in the air.
Yeah. Probably fly over it. I hope it's not, too bad.
Hopefully it's just rain where you're living.
Yeah. So they're talking about a chance of snow even in the south as soon as they get back.
Calling FEMA.
Let's salt the roads. That says something in the south. They don't salt the roads. I mean, you just wait for the roads to get better.
Oh, can I just quick rant here about a Chicagoan being in LA? Your roads are amazing. Stop complaining. I didn't see a pothole the entire time I was here. It was amazing.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
That Dodge Grab Caravan I'm driving around is just handling beautifully.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave it at that. And hey guys, be part of the discussion. If you have any comments or whatever, talk to us on the group. We'd love to hear from you. And we just decided to be able to bring you a little bit different content from NAMM. And so anyways, well, I had a lot of fun, Scott, recapping all this.
Dude, it's been just fun hanging out with you today too. Like,
absolutely.
You forget how good of friends you are with everybody, and just
totally,
it's just been good.
Totally. So I say let's try to do it again, and we'll leave it at that for now. So.
Oh wait, we need to talk about. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, same time, same place. So our Airbnb fell through.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I are staring at the ocean right now from our hotel or our Airbnb. Booked at the last minute in Huntington Beach. This is the place to stay, Newport Beach. Thank you. Sorry, this is like probably when people visit the West, they're like, why is everything named after trees? Everything here is named after beaches or hills. So sorry, they all blend into one thing to me.
Yeah. This is pretty sweet. It's right on the beach. It's a beach town. There's a big huge pier within like 100 yards from where we are.
It's like a really nice Florida.
Exactly.
It's like, what if Florida was like high-end?
Yeah. It's like without the rundown shack in between your really upscale condo.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally agree. This is a nice place. I would come back, and I would love to bring my family here as well. And
I'd love to get the same Airbnb again, just knowing more than 2 days out where we're going to be staying because of that last minute.
I didn't mind that drive. It's actually nice to get out of Anaheim, I think, after the day's over. Yeah,
the ability to like decouple and like in the mornings we just like walk along the pier to a coffee place is a really just nice way to like mentally prepare for the day. To hear the same shred riff over and over and over again.
Yeah. So, yeah, if anybody's thinking about coming to NAMM, you need to look in Newport Beach.
I hope we'll just like rent out this whole building with everybody.
All of our friends. Hey, you know what? We can change the world. We can make it happen.
And then we can host a taco party over here. No, we're not doing that.
That would be amazing. I guess you'd have to get Gabriel Tenorio on board for that, and I don't know if he'd go for that. But the place in Santa Ana was nice.
The venue for that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice.
But yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
I need to work on my sweet picking and outfit choices for next NAMM. And it was a good time.
All right. Well, thanks y'all for listening, and we'd love to hear from you. And let us know what you think about some of the things we talked about.
Also, new, more affordable Fender Meteora is beautiful in person.
I did not see that one. Oh, you know what?
Alternate reality, isn't that what they're calling it now? It's not Parallel Universe anymore. The alternate reality series has a Meteora with dual humbuckers and a different pickguard. And it is gorgeous. Still the same body shape.
Sweet. I missed that one. Maybe I can go back tomorrow and find that one.
Oh, and the Jazzmasters with the Strat trim aren't a Jazzmaster.
Nice. Well, don't come at us, whatever.
Don't at me, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Thanks for having me, Clifton.
thanks for coming on, and it's been good.